So we're at the limit, the fifth and last step in the accountability dial. Now, when you're in a conversation with someone about behavioral change, it's important to remember that you can't solve this problem for them ultimately. But at some point, you should reach your limit. You can't coach this person forever on a change that they need to make to succeed in their own career. Ultimately, it's about them. This is a tricky part of the accountability dial because it might be the existence of the limit itself that actually promotes behavior change. Think about in your own life when you've made meaningful, substantive changes. Oftentimes it comes from a really strong boundary or a limit from someone who you're in a relationship with, or a boss that you had, or some other thing that happened in your world where you realized, oh, I'm done, I'm toast. If I don't make this change, I'm not gonna get to the place that I wanna get to. So you're offering that opportunity for this person. So the limit is not a limit in the sense of a termination or that you're finished with this person or you're done with them. It's simply an acknowledgement that you've done all the coaching, you've given all the feedback, you've tried your best to help them through this. And there's really nothing left for you to do at this point. So let's be careful here when we're talking about the limit that we don't get into a punitive phase. But it might be the moment where you have to say to somebody, look, we've been having this other conversation about a promotion or some other area of responsibility, and I just can't have those conversations with you for a while until something really changes. What you're looking for is ownership, not for someone to be perfect, not for someone to solve all the problems of the universe, but to make incremental, sustained change in a positive way. Let's finish the conversation with Jeff. So we've tried everything. We tried the mention, we tried the invitation, we had a conversation about impacts, we even set a boundary. And it's not that Jeff made no progress. He did. He made one step forward, one step back, 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, but we're still here. It's been 30 days or 45 days. And you say to Jeff, look, I feel like I've tried everything. I've tried to give feedback as best as I can. I feel like I'm out of options. And I don't know what else to do here, but what I do know is I can't keep supporting you here on the team while you're not doing the basic things that everybody else is accountable for. So I just want to highlight that for you one more time, and maybe this conversation lights a fire and you really take this to heart and something changes, but I'm really out of options here. So I just wanted to let you know that that's where I'm at. Here's some tips to keep in mind when you're having the limit conversation. It should be short and clear at this point. If you're finding yourself having to rehash feedback and go back through examples, you probably missed a step earlier on in the dial. Along those lines, it's probably not the moment for a whole bunch more dialogue. You've already invested in this process and you've gone through all the steps. Again, maybe not exactly in the right order and maybe you went back and forth, but you've had plenty of time for conversation. If you find yourself getting defensive or they're asking questions or saying things and you're realizing that, maybe you skipped a step, be okay with that. Just acknowledge that to yourself quietly and realize, oh wait, you know what? And I think they're right. I think I should have spent more time talking about the impacts. Give yourself permission to go back a little bit into the conversation. When you're at a limit with someone in the accountability dial, it's a great opportunity to find a sounding board. If that's a coach or a facilitator or somebody else that you trust, to bounce the situation off of them. Let them know the steps that you took so far. Talk to them about the changes that person made, or maybe the gaps that emerged along the way. It can be really helpful in that moment to get a second opinion so that you feel confident going in that you're having the limit conversation and you're truly at that step. The accountability dial is a process of growth for everyone. So while you may be working on behavioral change and trying to improve things for the better for a person or multiple people on your team, it's also about self-care. And it's also about accepting that there's only so much you can do. You're not a superhero, you're a human being, and you need to set your own boundaries. You're not done caring about them. You're not done hoping that they make this change. You're just done coaching. You're just done proactively intervening in the situation. Let it be that, and see, maybe this is the moment where they make the change you've been hoping for. Remember, the accountability dial is a compass, not a map. So it's not that you have to go through all 5 steps of the accountability dial with any one person with respect to any piece of feedback. The mention may work, and that may be all you need in some scenarios. Other times you may go to the invitation, the conversation, or even to the boundary. And you may even cycle back and forth between the invitation and the conversation. It's all fine, just as long as you feel like progress is being made and the conversation is staying open and curious and the person is earnestly trying to work on something that's important.